Today on Morning Drive.
Amazing Jessica Korda on top in Thailand. What a victory.
Just 2 months after undergoing serious surgery which required breaking her jaw 5 times and inserting 27 screws into her face, Jessica Korda hosted a trophy in her first start of the season. We talked to her live in moments.
And that is it. The United States has won curling gold at the Olympics.
Team USA's gold medal in curling was one of the biggest stories of the Winter Olympics. Today, we have a member of the US Curling Association in studio to explain the significance of their win and reveal his golf course design work that includes a project with Tiger Woods and President Obama. Plus, Phil has been thrilling the crowds for decades. Now, as he prepares to tee it up in Mexico this week, we'll rate his season so far and find out what is motivating him before the year's first major.
I think it will be important for me if I want to go into Augusta with the expectation of winning again, that I win before then.
All that and more is on the way in today's Morning Drive, this Wednesday, February 28, 2018. And a very good morning to you. Cara Banks delighted to be joined alongside Paige McKenzie. Phil Mickelson wants to win before the Masters, we know that, but before we get into Lefty, we're trying out some curling on ice. You've done this before.
I have. A couple of years ago, I was invited to come up to the national championships and try it out myself. We did a small piece on it. I fell in love with the sport then. I was so excited to watch the USA men's team get the gold. I'm very excited about our guest that's going to be able to kind of break it down for us in studio. I know we're the Golf Channel, but for maybe a segment, we might cover a little curling as well.
We're struggling with ice. We're going to find some ice, but we're going to break down your form with the slide. It's quite hard, isn't it?
They're going to try. Yeah, exactly. I'm excited to get a little bit of tips and some information on how to maybe be a little better at throwing the stone.
You know, there is a curling club in Orlando. Well, maybe our next Golf Channel outing will be there. But for now, we'll stay with all things golf and say good morning to Lauren Thompson.
You got it, Cara. Yeah, Paige and I might have the opportunity to go curling once again. Stick around. It's going to be an interesting segment coming up, but also a lot of really good golf ties that we're going to be getting to. However, happening now in the game this week in the WGC Mexico Championship, the first of 4 World Golf Championship events of 2018, we have a field of 65 players, which includes 45 of the top 50 and 6 of the top 10 in the official World Golf ranking. 19 different countries and 6 different continents are also represented among the competitors as they make that move to Chapultepec Golf Club in Mexico City for the 17th official event of the 2017-2018 FedEx Cup season. Honing in on one of the marquee tee times, we've got Justin Thomas, now the 3rd-ranked player in the world after his victory last weekend at the Honda Classic. He's going to try and make back-to-back trips to the winner's circle this week, starting off his first round with Dustin Johnson, still holding tight to his #1 position in the rankings, and John Rahm, #2 in the world. They're going to go off the 10th tee Thursday at 12:51 p.m. Eastern Time. Golf Channel's coverage of the WGC Mexico Championship, it starts tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And Justin Thomas speaking yesterday to the media about the action ahead.
I'm very excited and very thrilled where my game's at. I feel like I'm playing very, very well. I feel like I have a lot more control over my game than I maybe did last year. I had more wins, obviously, coming into this event than last year, but in terms of a consistency factor, I just everything is tightened up a lot more, which is what I really like, what I think is going to propel me to have more chances to win golf tournaments. You know, whether that's going to happen or not, you never know. That's the crazy and hard part about this game. But all I know is I just need to continue to put in the work and just see what we can do. It's crazy to say, but it's pretty forgotten already. You know, I feel like the fact that everything happened, people know that, but it's just it's. You know, I've always liked what Coach Saban says. You know, they have the 24-hour, the 48-hour rule at Alabama. They get to enjoy their win, and then it's on to the next one. And that's in the past, and all you can focus and work on is, your process and getting ready for the next event.
Justin Thomas, clearly a big Alabama fan. That's where he went to school. The reigning PGA Tour Player of the Year, the 2017 FedEx Cup champion, 24-year-old also added major champ to his accolades last year, but so far, no World Golf Championship titles, with his best finish in a WGC event coming here in 2017 with a tie for 5th place. So let's keep the JT talk going as we welcome in Robert Dameron and Mark Rolfing in Studio AP. Hey, guys.
Hey, and I'm joined by NBC Golf royalty, Mark Rolfing here. A little excited, but you just saw the press conference from Justin Thomas, and this time last year, he was coming off 3 wins and a 59 in Hawaii, yet he says he likes the state of his game better now. What do you make of that?
Well, Robert, I think he is a better player now than he was a year ago. You heard him talk about control. He has more control. He feels over the game. He has tightened things up. But the area in specific that I think he's really improved has been with his short irons. And I believe the model was Dustin Johnson, who a couple of years ago looked at his weakness and said, hey, I've got to work on my short irons over the offseason. Dustin did it. Justin Thomas did the same thing a year ago. Here's the shot on the 72nd hole after he laid up. Actually, what the short iron improvement Robert has done for him has allowed him to actually play a little more conservatively. And you don't see Justin taking some of the chances maybe that he did earlier in his career. And when he gets in a little bit of trouble, he lays it up because he knows his short game is so good. I will also tell you, and I know you're a big believer in this, he has become a great clutch putter.
There's no doubt about that, and I fully agree with what you said. If you're a great wedge player, you're also a great course manager because you don't have to take those risks and things. And the short game and tightening that up has turned him from what I consider last year a bomber, a good potential who was on a heater, to a world-class player now. So you and I agree with that, I think.
It's kind of interesting as we watch Mexico unfold this week, Robert, you're going to see 2 players, Dustin Johnson and Justin Thomas, who are 2 of the longest hitters in the world. But they are going to attack Chapultepec in a different way. I saw it from both of them last year. Remember, Justin was leading going into the final round. Dustin ended up winning. You're going to see a lot of layups out of those guys this week at Chapultepec, and that's because their short game is so good now.
You're right. We know them as bombers, but in reality, they're 2 of the best wedge players on the planet. Lauren, over to you.
I don't think anyone would argue with that point. Well, this week, though, we also have tour pros headed to Singapore for the HSBC Women's World Championship. Another strong field to look out for. 19 of the top 20 in the Rolex rankings are part of that field. Olympic gold medalist N.B. Park there to defend her title, with Jessica Korda trying to make consecutive winning weeks. Korda, it was her birthday yesterday. The 5-time LPGA Tour winner playing the first round at Sentosa Golf Club with Jin Young Ko, who won in Australia earlier this year. Also, Brittany Lincecum is coming off a tie for 7th in Thailand. A 9:10 p.m. tee time for them, with Golf Channel's coverage of the HSBC Women's World Championship starting tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So for more, we send it over to Cara with more on Korda.
Yeah, let's show you how Jessica got it done on Sunday. She led by 4 going into the final round after what had already been, Paige, a record-setting week.
Yeah, and didn't get off to the best of starts, turned in -1, and the margin would actually fall to 2, but then she really turned it on coming down the home stretch.
Yeah, this was at 13. She stuck that to 4 feet to birdie and get ahead to 23 under par. Now here another very good approach at 15.
Yeah, you can tell a short par 4. All she has left is just a pitch shot, and beautifully judged.
That one would lead to a nice tap-in for birdie to get her to 24 under. Now we'll move ahead to the 17th hole, where arguably she had really the shot of the championship. This a birdie putt from 25 feet out.
Yeah, and good memories on this hole. Actually, it holed out in her first round on the 17th. In fact, she played the back 9 in 20 under par for the week.
Wow, a fist pump as well. I mean, she knew she was on her way to victory number 5 on the LPGA Tour, and this was the moment that sealed it all.
And it only took a par on the very birdieable 18th, but after 25 under, you can have a par every now and then.
Right, it was a final round 67 to win by 4 shots at 25 under par for her 5th career LPGA Tour win. Now, I'd mentioned those rounds of 66, 62, 68, and 67. It was quite the week, and we can now welcome her in on the Golf Advisor phone line live from Singapore ahead of the HSBC Women's World Championship. Good morning, or I guess I should say good evening, Jess, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, good morning to you guys and good evening to me.
Quite the time difference, I'm sure, but I imagine you're adjusted to it after, of course, those wonderful scenes last week. Congratulations, Jess. Despite admitting to entering the week with just no expectations, you shattered several tournament scoring records on the way to what was your first win since 2015. What was your winning formula last week, do you think?
I honestly just made a lot of putts. I was hitting the ball okay all week. But I just made a lot of putts.
That always helps to get them sinking. Now, there's been obviously a huge story around your win and what exactly you've had going on the last couple of months. Not many people knew that you had double jaw surgery planned for the off-season. Can you describe just what it is that you've been through the last few weeks?
I don't think you guys have enough time for me to describe everything I've been through. But you know, it's been a tough off season. I'm just happy that now I'm headache free and still really, really numb, but just really excited kind of for the year ahead and see how recovery keeps going. But you know, I got a couple of screws in my face and still a couple of scars inside my mouth, but I'm just really excited to be back out.
A couple screws. It's a number like 27, I think, that we read. So you're a remarkable trooper, what you've been through. I know Nelly has obviously been by your side. She plays out on the LPGA Tour as well. Jess, what was it like returning to the professional ranks after realizing that the surgery had actually slightly affected your physical appearance as well?
I think that was the biggest shock of all. I looking in the mirror, you don't know who you're looking at. And, you know, that brings obviously a lot of doubt and just a lot of mixed emotions. And the doctor was so great that, you know, he kind of let me know that this is what I'm going to go through. So it wasn't a total shock for me, but, you know, trying to learn how to smile again, trying to learn how to move my top lip and bottom lip and just be myself again. It's just difficult.
That is a trying experience that you went through. And your start to the season was delayed, obviously, because of the recovery. How difficult was it to sit on the sideline and watch the LPGA start their season with two events that you had previously won?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was difficult to sit and just watch it, but at the same time, it was really motivating for me to get my butt back out here. And I'm just really glad, you know, to just miss two tournaments after that big of a surgery is still pretty good. And
to pick up right where you left off with incredible golf, your win generated a lot of social media reaction. One of the tweets of congratulations coming from 2017 Player of the Year, Justin Thomas, who then went on to win as well at the Honda Classic. Have you taken any credit for inspiring him to that win?
Well, I did text him that morning, and I was like, look, I'm giving you all of my good juju. And he texted me back, goes, oh, my God, I just figured out that you guys were playing in the Honda, too. I was like, dang.
There's some synergy there.
We did the same thing. Yeah, we did the same thing when we played in Malaysia. When I won, I was like, look, I'm leaving you all my good juju here, so go out there and win. So.
Wow. How long have you known each other?
Since junior golf.
Many years.
Yeah, indeed. And so what has the celebration been like, Jess, since the win on Sunday?
Not much. You know, we got another week here, and probably just going to go and have a nice dinner when I come back with my family. But honestly, I was so tired. It's so hot in Thailand, so didn't really do a whole lot.
Well, you mentioned you've got another week here. It's a big event on the LPGA Tour, the HSBC Women's World Championship. You finished in the top 5 there before 5 years ago. How are you going to try and keep the momentum going from the win last weekend?
Just trying to do the same thing. You know, it's obviously a totally different golf course. I played today, and it was very, very firm and fast. So I'm just excited to see what it's going to look like tomorrow. Every day is different out here, and we're just going to hope for some good weather and not that hot temperatures.
Yeah, good luck with that one. I've been to that event myself. It is incredibly warm and tricky conditions. But listen, congratulations. What an incredible story. What an incredible fighter and true champion you are. We really appreciate you joining us today, Jess. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
That was Jessica Corder live on the Golf Advisor phone line from Singapore, where she said she's preparing to play in the HSBC Women's World Championship. Trying to hope for some slightly cooler conditions, but that aside, Paige, to hear her talk about what she's been through, to say that really the hardest thing to come to terms with was the physical change that she has had in her face and getting used to everyday feels and touches that we all take for granted.
And I think when we look at professional golfers, we see the physical challenges of playing competitively, we see some of the mental challenges of playing competitively, but we don't always see the emotional challenges that players go through. And for Jessica, this is more than just about golf. This is the emotional challenges of going through your daily routine and not recognizing who you are in the mirror. And it just brings, I think, more perspective to how wonderful this win was for her.
Yes, she said, I don't really have enough time to explain to you everything that I've been through. Her mother was having to feed her through a syringe at stages during this recovery. She does have an incredibly supportive family. Of course, Sister Nellie's out on the tour with her. Can't deny how much of a help that must be.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, especially when you go through something that can be this life-altering. To have the support system by your side. That syringe episode of trying to just eat. She lost 13 pounds at a certain point during her recovery. So even that creating even more physical challenges for her to overcome.
Yeah, a true family of champions, and I think she's proven it last week. We'll definitely be keeping track of her progress in the opening round of the HSBC Women's World Championship, which kicks off tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Golf Channel, so you can watch it all right here. But now we'll go back to Lauren.
Thank you so much, Cara. Yeah, it's one thing to read all those reports, the screws in her face, the reason for the surgery, but to hear the emotion from her live, Jessica Korda on Morning Drive moments ago. What an inspiring figure. Well, coming up today, though, we're on the eve of Dustin Johnson kicking off his title defense in Mexico. So we brought in an expert from Golf Tech who can seriously break down the swing of the #1 player in the game. And he's coming in armed with drills to help you dial up your power, just like DJ. Then, with the Winter Olympics wrapped up, but Pyeongchang still on our minds, a shining moment by the Americans has us welcoming in a guest who was there in Korea and also has a solid correlation to curling and golf course creations. The senior consultant for Tiger Woods Design opens up on a project in Chicago that will change the feel and certainly the cost of golf in the area. Wait until you hear about this and also the role that Mark Rolfing has in it. Plus, one of the most loved lefties in golf is back at it this week inside the ropes. We're prepped to give you a look at Phil the Thrill on the range in Mexico and revisit his season so far this year with a shocking stat in the official World Golf Ranking as we ask a question that begs for an answer. So, Cara, any idea what that could be?
Maybe, but I won't be giving it away. I won't be giving it away. He played 5 straight weeks, Phil. He's had 1 week off and he's back at it again.
Healthy. Gotta love healthy golf.
Yeah. Age is just a number, right?
I say that all the time.